What's going on, world? It's your boy KUYA P. This is Nerds Rule the World, and as you saw from the thumbnail, we are going to be talking about the 100 best black movies of all time ever. Because Variety, Rolling Stone, all those other cats, they neglected to think about how black people have been putting in work since they started off doing all these things. And so shout out to the Black Movie Hall of Fame with executive director Shawn Edwards, their whole crew over there, plus a ton of my friends over at AFCA, which Shawn Edwards is the co-founder of, put together these lists. And we now have the 100 best black movies of all time. And so let's get right into it. As you see on the screen, I'm so excited, so delighted to have from Fox TV, WDAF, KC, representing my man Shawn Edwards, again, co-founder of AFCA, as well as the executive director of Black Movie Hall of Fame. Shawn, how are you,
What's up,
sir?
man? What's up? Hey, can I do one thing real quick? I got to correct you when you talked about the Rolling Stone and the New York Times list. They left a lot of cultures off the list.
Let's go. Let's go. Didn't
they left a lot. Hey, you know what? Cinema is global, man. They left a lot of cultures off the. I just want to make that, make that.
I appreciate that. As a Filipino over here, as an Asian American, I appreciate that.
No, 100%. And one of the things I was really hurt about is for a stretch from the mid 80s to about the late 90s, some of the best movies ever made were coming out of Hong Kong, and there was very little representation. I was like, wow, that's crazy, because a lot of the movies on the list mimic a lot of the stuff that was coming out of there. And I'm like, man, we didn't show much love.
Definitely. Let's go, man. Let's go. So I completely agree. But, you guys put it together. We did. I'm married to an amazing black woman. I have a lot of black people in my family. So I know that black people lead the way. A lot of us other races need to step up. But anyway, let's go. So y'all came together. Shout out to AFCA. I have so many, amazing, great friends over there. Shout out to Carla. Shout out to Sam. Shout out to Sharon. All my peoples. So y'all came together, put together this list. What were the thoughts on this? And when you put together your list, when you bounced it with what was the final list, what were the vibes? What were you feeling, comparison to yours to what made it?
Well, see, that's the thing. When you do a list like this, the first thing you got to do, as I remember watching a documentary about the song We Are the World, and Quincy Jones was the producer of that song along with Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie. And they said when they were setting up the studio, the first thing they did was they put up a sign on the door that said, "Check your ego," at the door. So when you do when you do a list like this where you're involving more than 50 other people, you really have to check your ego at the door, at the laptop, because a lot of movies that I feel should have been in the top 10, in the top 20, in the top 30, a lot of other people didn't agree with, because you're going to have your personal favorites. Then it also, your list is going to kind of depend on where you landed in the canon. You got some people who are 50 plus. You got some people in their 20s. You got some people in their 30s and 40s. You got some people who grew up with the classics in the 50s and 60s. And you got some people who think Spike Lee was the first black filmmaker. So it skews where you're coming from depending on your age, and it also skews where you're coming from depending on where you live. Because if you grew up in LA, you're gonna have more of a West Coast bias to the West Coast filmmakers. If you grew up in Brooklyn, you're gonna probably have 8 or 9 Spike Lee movies on your list. So it just so it depends. So I thought I was coming from a good place because I'm based in Kansas City, Missouri, which is in the middle. So I was like, well, and then, because like you mentioned, I co-founded AFCA, I kind of put on my political hat and said, I'm gonna be real neutral with this. I'm gonna be super neutral. I'm just gonna reach out to everybody, let them submit the films they feel belong on the list, and then come up with a way that we can kind of figure out who lands at 1, who lands at 5, who lands at 25, 30, 50. It's always gonna be subjective. But I took my personal feelings straight out of it, because the movie that landed at number 1, I'm like, it's no way this movie's number 1 in my opinion. But it was unanimous. I was actually shocked as the results were coming in, because I did not expect the movie that landed at number 1 to be number 1. Not at all.
Yeah. When I think about lists like this, as you were saying, it's kind of generational and where you're from,
It's
where you're at,
very general.
and
It's very
yeah,
it's funny because it's super generational. And like a lot of the early ballots that came in were from younger people, and I was getting nervous because it's like, man, we can't have the top 10 be all movies that just came out in the last 5 years. Because
right,
that's number one, that's just not true. Number two, that wouldn't be fair. But you know, as more ballots came in, it started to kind of balance itself out. But it's way more generational than even I thought.
definitely, definitely. And let me remind everybody again, the Black Movie Hall of Fame put out the list. I'm gonna have the links in the description.
Yeah,
Click on that, go
throw
check
that
it
out
out,
there.
check out the full list. So let's get into it, sir.
All right,
We got the top five. I'm just gonna bring up the top five. Starting from number five, Moonlight, Respect. And actually, as you saw, I got
you
prepped.
got the
I got
posters.
the 10.
You got the posters. You got the top 10. You got the top 10.
I got the top 10 behind me, but we'll go with Moonlight, number
Yeah.
five, Color Purple, four, Do the Right Thing, three, Black Panther, two, and Malcolm X, one. Yeah, it's crazy. I agree and somewhat disagree, as like you, in regards to this. As
I
you mentioned in
completely
Malcolm X, not really your number one. Your
no.
number one was Do the Right Thing, and you
Yes.
also had Moonlight as your number two. Can you
Yes.
speak on that?
Well, I just feel that do the right thing. Number one, I like films that stand the test of time. You know, Spike made that movie in 1989, and one of the crazy things about that film is, sadly, it's still relevant in 2025. That speaks to the power of the subject matter. It also speaks to the sadness of the society that we live in today. But you also got to give Spike Lee props because he was able to take a subject like that and make it timeless. Also, the creativity of that film is just like top. I mean, the cinematography was just like, you know, Eric Dickerson just killed it with the cinematography. It's a really well, it doesn't get a lot of love for its script, but it's actually a really well written script because all the characters come across so believable, man. It's just when you go back and rewatch it, you got to give more props to the writing which Spike Lee wrote. And then I love the way that Spike Lee cast his films because it had this mix of like, you know, you had, you know, Ruby D and Ozzie Davis, who were like screen legends,
Yeah,
like legends, and then you had newcomers like Martin Lawrence and Giancarlo Esposito, and you know he threw them all into the mix, and then you had Sam Jackson in basically a cameo role. Like
right.
Spike's casting is like genius, but it's so memorable, and I just remember the very first time seeing that film when the opening credit sequence started and Spike just let that entire Public Enemy Fight the Power song play from beginning to remember they didn't edit the lyrics either. And it's like, oh my God, what are we about to watch?
Yeah,
Because you know, you had Rosie Perez basically doing every TikTok dance known to man. And it's just like, yo, this is because you got to remember back in 1989, like Public Enemy was one of those rap groups where, you know, half the population was like, this is the coolest band in the history of the world. And the
yeah,
other half of the population was like, or who are these scary Negroes? And so it just the opening credit sequence set this tone, and it just continued on. And then you know I'm still on the fence of whether or not you know Mookie should have threw the trash can through the window of the pizzeria or not. Like that's how good that film is. Because like I'll watch it one time and be like, man, Mookie, man, that's a bad move. You shouldn't have did that. And then I'll watch it again and be like, hell yeah. Throw the
yeah.
trash can. Matter of fact, throw another one. So I like it. So it's like I like when movies push buttons like that, and it shifts depending on when you watch it or what mood you're in or what's going on in the world culturally or what's going on in the news. Like that's why I felt that was the number one movie. Now I got mad respect for Malcolm X. I just feel that the first half of Malcolm X is not as strong as the second half of Malcolm
Mm,
X.
mm.
Like the second half, like the second 90 minutes of that film is like perfection. That's when Denzel found his groove at like when Malcolm X gets out of prison until he's assassinated, Denzel kills it.
Yeah,
Like they should have gave him 2 Oscars for that. The first half was a little shaky. I just didn't feel that Spike had a grasp of that that's not his thing. Like the criminal element, like Malcolm X was, he's in the burglary ring and hanging out with Shorty and going to do the Lindy Hop and all that. I just didn't feel like Spike nailed it the way he nailed the second half. Don't get me wrong, Malcolm X is still a great film and deserves to at least be in the top, 10,
Yeah,
15.
it's in the
Number
conversation.
It's definitely in the conversation.
Yeah,
Number one, I mean, number one, I don't know. Moonlight gets props to number two because, I mean, come on, it won Best Picture.
I had no notes for that when that joint dropped. That shit was
No,
pretty much perfect.
no. I think that was intentional because I remember the first time I screamed Moonlight too. It's like I knew very little about it. It's kind of like one of those movies that dropped out of the sky, and it was just
Yeah,
like because I remember the first time I watched it, I was like, okay, this movie's amazing, but am I sure it's that amazing? And I
mm,
had to let it, I had to let it marinate because just the structure of the film, you had never really seen anything like it. But the performances were so like, the characters are really subdued. Like every character is subdued, but the power of what's going on with the storytelling was like so incredible. It's like one of those movies that just rinses over you. I was
yes.
like, well, it just rinsed over me. And then, it took me a minute to figure out the mathematics of the story. And then when I put two plus two together, it's like, oh my God, that's a hell of a four. I'm like, yo, that
Yeah,
movie, like, yeah, that movie just hit. That movie hit so different. And you got to give it some extra points because of everything that went down at the Academy Awards.
let's go. Yeah.
Because it really showed, like it showed the world that the Oscars are so rigged. Because like no man, the people,
No, real
the
talk.
the,
Real talk.
the
Let it
industry,
go.
the industry wanted La La Land to win so bad that it baked into the presenter's head. Like it was just it wasn't even it was just second nature for them to say, and the winner
Mm.
is La La Land. Because they technically didn't even really look at because they didn't look at the card. Like if you go back and watch that, who was that? It
Oh,
was
I can't remember. I forgot who it
yeah,
was.
but
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 yeah.
when they had the envelope right, and it's not a lot of wording on the card. It's literally the title of the film. So they literally had it baked in that La La Land was the best movie that year. So they just was like La La Land. Because if you look at the card, it had Moonlight in big letters. Like
Yeah.
it's like that really was like, oh, this is how this works. This is how they think. This is what's going on, man. It was like it did such a disservice, not only to Moonlight the movie, but the whole award structure because you couldn't take it seriously anymore. Because it
Definitely.
just showed like, oh, this is a whole different type of system we're dealing with here. So you got to give Moonlight some extra points for that. But no, Barry Jenkins is a genius, man. I just that movie, like I said, it rinses over you. It just hits so different. It's yeah, no, solid number two. Solid number
Definitely.
two.
I completely agree. Just an amazing film. So as it was coming in, and we were combining all these lists,
Right.
was there anything that shocked you? Well, obviously we said number one with Malcolm X, right? You
Malcolm
didn't
X,
feel it differently.
Malcolm X shocked me. It really did. Malcolm X. I did not expect Malcolm X to get number one, the amount of votes that it got. Number
Mm,
two, the amount of times that people said it was number one. It
mm,
was like, wow, this is
yeah,
crazy. I shouldn't have been shocked, but I was a little bit of the amount of love that Black Panther got because I will be the first to admit I was one of those guys who's like, Black Panther is a better cultural moment.
mm,
And like it's a okay movie, but it was a hell of a cultural movement.
yeah. That I cannot can be
It's
contested in regards to the
it's a
movement.
okay, it's a okay movie, but it was a hell of a cultural moment. So I guess that resonated with a lot of the critics.
Yeah,
And I also think the passing of Chadwick Boseman like kind of like add to that. I feel if he were still alive, it wouldn't register the same. But you get that nostalgic and people get that sentiment just kind of hits people a little different. So I can understand why it ranked as high as it did.
mm. All right,
but
all
it's
right.
just not okay. It's not even the best Marvel movie.
Ah, ah.
Eh,
You know what? I can't argue that either. I
it's
can't argue
top.
that
No, no,
either.
no. It's
Yeah.
top tier.
It's
It's
top
it's
tier. It is top
it's
tier.
top. It's
But
top five Marvel. But is
yeah,
it technically the best Marvel movie? Because
true.
I'm gonna hit you. The best Marvel movie is on the list.
Hold up. On it made the list?
The best Marvel movie made
Oh,
the
Blade? We
100.
talking Blade? We going back to
Yes,
Blade?
sir. Yes, sir. That's
We a lot
technically
of
a
people,
Marvel
you know what? A lot
movie.
of people forget that. And you know what? And I half almost did,
It's a
but
Marvel movie.
talk about it.
No, Blake, no, 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 no. So, look, there is no Iron Man.
Let's
There
go.
is no Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
There is no Black Panther without Blade. Like, and you look, out of all the actors who portrayed these comic book characters, Wesley Snipes maybe did it the best. He
Mm,
was completely believable. Who's more believable as a Marvel character than Wesley Snipes?
true. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. doesn't count because
Yeah.
no. He look, Tony Stark's is Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Like he's not no, you say what you want. I love Robert Downey Jr. I love the Iron Man movies, especially the first one.
Yeah.
But let's all admit one thing: Robert Downey Jr. is not acting. Is he?
No, he's not. He's playing himself, just like he was in a
Yeah.
bunch of other joints. So yeah, yeah,
And it's not easy to play yourself in a film, and he does it very well. But what Wesley did as the Blade character is just a little bit different. In that Blade movie, it saved Marvel the company. Like you don't have a Marvel cinematic universe without Blade. And
yeah.
that first Blade was excellent.
Definitely, definitely.
It's one of the best. It's also one of the best comic book movies ever made.
I agree. I agree. Yeah.
I mean, it's you can sit Blade next to the Dark Knight.
Mm-hmm.
You can sit Blade next to the very first Superman with Christopher Reeves.
Definitely,
Yeah. So that's what I'm
definitely.
saying. The best Marvel movie is on the list.
I hey,
It's
let's
on the
go. Let's
list.
go, Sean. All right. So, what were some other surprises of and or how some of you and your picks included fell kind of down the list? I gotta tell
Yeah.
you one from me that inspired me as a filmmaker.
Okay. Which one?
That has always been in my top five. That I'm sure not the number one. A lot of other cats. Love Jones. I used to write a lot of poetry, and I used to
Okay.
do open mic poetry slams when I was in the military
I
and stuff like that.
I'm
Love
agree.
Jones
I'm
was
agree
my
with you.
shit,
I'm
but I
agree.
cannot believe it's like number 58. I can't believe it.
I will no, I will agree. I was surprised that a movie like Love and Basketball got more love than Love Jones. Just because Love Jones, man, Love Jones had people in every city in America going to poetry slams. Like it was a vibe, and that was a that was a different type of black love story that we hadn't seen before, and it was it was authentic. It was real. It crackled with something. It was like really one of the first times I really saw myself represented on screen
Mm,
as a black adult. You
let's
know,
go.
because they were everybody in that movie, we were all close in age when I watched it, and it was like, oh my god, this is what we do. This is how we talk. This is how we date. Like, this is the type of music we listen to. Like, and, Nia Long and Lorenz Tate and the supporting cast. And then another thing that people forget about, man, that soundtrack was a fire.
Oh yes,
The soundtrack was fire.
yeah.
The soundtrack was fire, and the poetry was amazing. It was like, yeah, no, I was surprised, but my rule with anytime you do a list, my rule is if you say a movie shouldn't be slotted at a certain point, what are you replacing it with? Where are you
Mm,
putting? Like, like you could say, all right, 58. Come on, guys, Love Jones 58, but where are you moving it and who you kicking back? And you got to have a justification for why
yeah,
you moving something up or why you moving something back. So
amazing.
I mean, because if you look at the list is jammed. Like it's like there's not a week, like how sometimes you see a list and you be like, oh my god, this title really. I don't think there's a weak link on that list.
I agree. I agree. It's
Like
hard to what I love about lists like this, Sean, and again, salute to the Black Movie Hall of Fame. Everybody, link in the description below so you can see the entire list.
the entire
Um,
list. It's fun. It's
is
fun. It's fun. Argue with us. Debate with us. Yeah.
definitely is that like films you forgot. It reminds you of them, and oh, if you haven't seen this one, you need to check this one out. When you've been talking to other cats about this, and then as this list has been out, and you've been getting a lot of press talking to you about this, what are some of the things you're saying and recommending, and what did you find on this list that you hadn't checked out in a while that you wanted to revisit? And oh yeah, let me see why I didn't put that up a little bit
Yeah,
higher
no,
on my
so
list.
yeah, no. In talking to a lot, here's the funny thing: in talking to a lot of people, especially the mainstream press, they didn't realize there were so many great black films. That's all.
Mm,
That's been the starting point. They were like,
wow.
"Oh, we didn't realize there were so many great films." I'm like, "Yeah," because there's a lot of great films that got left off. One film that got left off that really shocked me. It like shocked me, and I think I know why this happened. But Fruitvale Station, directed by Ryan Coogler, did not make the list.
Oh my God. And
It
that's a
did not.
great film.
I know, but you know
Wow.
what happened? Everybody went nuts for Sinners because everybody was
Mm,
voting like just weeks after Sinners. So
mm.
because you look, you gotta be an incredible filmmaker to get because so Ryan had Black Panther, and then he's got Sinners. He's got two, man. He's like out of all the movies ever made, two is that's pretty that's
That's
that's that's
solid.
commendable. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's solid. So I think they felt like if you do a third, then you're saying that this guy is, because Spike Lee had the most. He had like five. Like
Yeah.
so it's hard to say Ryan because Ryan hasn't been making movies nearly as long as Spike Lee. So if Spike's got five and Ryan's got three, like is the gap really that close? I mean, you
Mm.
could argue. I
Yeah.
mean, because
I don't think
I
people want
would,
to give him his flowers yet. They don't,
I would,
you
but
know.
I would also fight that Creed should have been on the list.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, kind
Yeah.
of, sort of. I mean, I get why it's not there because there's other classic sports films that made the list.
Yeah.
I would have included Fruitvale Station and Creed, but I was shocked that Fruitvale Station did not get a lot of. I was really shocked. Another thing that shocked me too, if you look at the list, there's very little representation from the black exploitation era, and I think that's tragic.
Mm. And
I'm
why so?
Well, I have my theory on that. Like we said in the beginning, it's generational,
Yeah.
and the majority of the people who submitted lists tended to be younger, which when I
Mm.
say younger, under 50. So if you're
Mm.
under 50, now you really didn't, you weren't a teenager or an adult at the height of the black exploitation era. So you would have had to have really cool parents, or you were really super curious to go
Yeah.
back and revisit those films of that era. I also feel that in a weird sort of way, the black exploitation era has been hijacked by Quentin Tarantino.
Ooh, tell it. Tell it.
I really feel like the black filmmakers, well, first of all, in real time, the black exploitation era didn't last that long. It was basically
Mhm.
from 1970 to about 74 before the studios hijacked it and watered it down.
Yeah.
And then all the cool movies and all the cool characters and stories that we remember sort of got hijacked by Quentin Tarantino because people think Quentin Tarantino's a black exploitation director, but he's not
Yeah.
because he didn't make no films in the 70s. But
Yeah.
he's used black exploitation as sort of like he's used it as motivation,
Yeah.
and he mimicked that style in almost every movie that he's done to where I think people think the representation of black exploitation is Quentin Tarantino. You say black exploitation, I really believe that most people think Pulp Fiction
Mm.
or Jackie Brown or even Django to a certain extent. I mean, Django is nothing more than Mandingo remixed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like so,
Yeah.
so, so I really think that's what happened. But that really kind of that's the one thing that hurt me more than anything is that there wasn't a lot of love for the black exploitation era, which is that's the era that really propelled black cinema in many ways because that's when filmmakers were like, "Yo, we need black people in front and behind the camera." You know, like Gordon Parks was big on that, and Gordon Parks
Yeah,
Jr. was big on that, and Michael Schultz was big on that. Yeah, all these guys who were, Melvin Van Peebles was big on that. These were like giants in the field, and they were doing that at a time where it was damn near impossible to make these kind of movies, especially with the subject matter they were dealing with and the types of stories they were writing. So I just felt that era sort of got a little neglected with the list.
definitely. Yeah, I agree. It's like you don't want to say like we had to go through that era to a degree because it was exploitive, but it helps us realize for ourselves that we could see ourselves as heroes and so on and so
No, a
forth.
hundred. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
100%. Especially coming off the 50s and the 60s. My
right.
goodness.
Yeah,
I mean, Jesus. I mean, we needed the black exploitation era exactly when it happened.
definitely. Amazing list. Again, everybody check out the Black Movie Hall of Fame. Check out the whole list as well as all the amazing things
Yeah,
that the
and I
Black
will say,
Movie
and I
Hall of
will
Fame is
say
doing.
this: I was happy to see like there were quite a few documentaries on the list, which documentaries oftentimes don't get a lot of love, but there's some incredible documentaries on the list.
I wanted to ask you, I'm glad you brought that up because another project that inspired me as a filmmaker was, well, number one, as a young head growing up in the 80s, Michael Jackson's music videos. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
And the one that I would always watch was the making of Thriller. The making of Thriller made me want to become a
Amazing.
filmmaker.
No, 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 no. The making of thrillers. No, that hit me too. The making of thrillers is amazing. It's not on the list, but the making of thriller hit me the same way watching Star Wars for the first time hit me. It made me want to
Let's
go get a
go.
camera and start shooting. But I like documentaries because documentaries actually really document, the history that Black folks have gone through with nonfiction storytelling. I mean, there's a Hurricane Katrina when the levees broke documentary on the list.
Yeah,
Hoop Dreams. There's got to be a basketball documentary on the list. Paris's Burnings on the list. I mean, these are really documenting in real time our history. And in an era where people are trying to erase our history, these documentaries hold up because they can't be erased.
completely agree. Yeah, I was like, I meant to see, but yeah, I didn't see that Michael Jackson making a Thriller didn't make the list, but like that was like
But that's a great.
right
But
there.
that's what I'm saying. It's hard to narrow this down to
Yeah.
100, man. It's
Yeah.
it's, it's hard because that's a great. No, that was one of the most inspiring documentaries I ever watched. Just watching the process, watching the mechanics,
Yeah.
watching how they, step by step, how they did everything. Man, I think I've watched that documentary more than any other. I would watch that on repeat. Like
Shawn.
you watch it and then you immediately watch it again. Like I would rewatch it and rewatch it and just learn the techniques, man. Like for a period of my life, John Landis was my favorite director.
Yo, Shawn,
He
real
was my
talk, sir.
No,
Yeah.
John Landis was my favorite director, man.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, like this is what this dude's he cool. He did Thriller.
Classics, man.
Yeah,
Shawn, amazing. Yeah, yeah. So I was just like loving this list, but what I love about it most is the ones that we forgot about. It reminds us to go revisit these joints and
please,
get
please.
entertained again. And then let's see when we're gonna do it again. You're gonna do it another 5 to 10. Like when we gonna
I don't
revisit
know.
this list?
Probably like we'll probably do it in 10, the 10th anniversary of the Black Movie Hall of Fame. We'll do because by then we'll have another decade of film,
Let's
and so we'll revisit and things are looking good. There are a lot of young and up and coming filmmakers, and Spike Lee's still doing his thing, and Ryan Coogler's still doing his thing, and Jordan Peele ain't done, Ava DuVernay ain't done. Like
right.
it's the future's bright. So maybe even 5, but 10 for sure. 10 for sure.
Amazing. All right. I got two more things I want to chat about with you real quick, Shawn, if
It's
you
all
don't
good.
mind. Black Movie Hall of Fame. We're the home of this list. In
Yes.
2026, we're going to finally see it open up in KC. Can you just talk about this endeavor? You're leading the charge there and everything that people are going to see
Yeah,
with the Black Movie Hall of Fame.
it's a team of us. So it's a team of us that's working on the project. Um, we commandeered the buildings, the old Boom Theater, which was originally built in 1924. They used to show movies back in the day. It was one of the few places Black folks could see a movie in Kansas City. It was a stepping out place. People got dressed up. They had shows there. You go eat there, drink there. So they did their things in the 20s, 30s, and 40s. Then it died down. Then the U.S. government bought the building in the 50s and turned it into an armory, and they stored weapons and tanks in it. thank God for the U.S. government because they did that. Though it helped preserve the building when it sat vacant for decades, so it's not a lot of water damage, not a lot of damage to the interior, the exterior, because they really tightened the building up. We purchased the building, which sits in the historic 18th and Vine Jazz District, and we're going to turn it into a movie theater. It's going to house the Black Movie Hall of Fame. We're going to have some micro studios inside and have a full functioning kitchen, so we can do some movie and a dinner events. It's going to be a great facility. We're in the middle of construction right now. We raised $10.1 million for construction. We got that money in the bank. Got to raise another $2 million for the exhibits and the interior. We're working on that right now, and it's all going to open up February 2026 if everything stays on schedule. So we got the fingers crossed emoji loaded in our phone.
Let's go, Shawn. I love this. I love this for the
Should be
community. Love
fun,
this for
man.
everyone.
It should be fun. Should be fun. It's been a lifelong kind of a dream and a project I've always wanted to do, and I finally got a chance to do it. So I'm super excited. I'm at that point in my career where it's time to start thinking about what's the legacy piece. So
and you're doing it, sir, with
yeah,
what
I'm
you've done with
trying, man. Yeah.
Africa. Now
Yeah,
this, just
yeah.
salute
Oh
to
yeah.
you.
And let's give
Just
let's give props. Let's give props to my man Gil Robinson, who also co-founded Africa, because he's been the inspiration for a lot of this. Because like Gil is like this creative force. He's like an idea machine. So whenever I need to consult somebody, I pick up the phone and hit Gil. But like Gil, what should I do? Gil, how do we do this? Gil, like he's like a mad genius when it comes to execution. So he's the other co-founder of Africa, but Gil's the man. So that's my true source of inspiration right there.
I love that. Shout out to Gil. Shout out to you. Just all of that work is just inspiring over here on this end, man. And like,
Well,
man,
I
I gotta start
appreciate
putting in
that.
work for my people, but y'all are my people too. So it's like
Yeah,
we just
exactly.
it's
We all in
motivational.
it
You know what I'm
together.
saying?
We
It's
all in it
motivational.
together. We all in it together. All in it
Definitely.
together.
And speaking of like just your amazingness, man, it's in the bloodline. You got a new project. Well, there's a project based
Yeah.
on your great aunt called Sarah's
Yes.
Oil. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, she's my great aunt, which for the people out there keeping score, she's my grandmother's sister on my dad's side. So my dad's mother's sister. Her name is Sarah Rector. They got a movie coming out called Sarah's Oil back when she was 11 years old in the 1920s. The government gave my family parcels of land because they were connected to the Creek Indian Native American tribe. They struck oil on her land. She became an instant millionaire. I like to say she became the first viral star. Everybody, every newspaper, every city, not only just the United States, but all over the world, were writing these headlines about her. Everybody wanted to know who she was, what she looked like, how she get all this money at 11. People in Germany and Russia and Italy were proposing marriage because everybody wants to get their hands on the money. And so this movie, Sarah's Oil, is about how she obtained the oil at 11 years old. It doesn't go past her being 11. So there's a whole nother, there could be a Sarah's Oil too that talks about all the amazing things she did when she was an adult, when she had the money, when they relocated to Kansas City, Missouri. But this story primarily takes place in Oklahoma City when she was 11 years old. It's a great inspirational story. It takes a faith-based angle. We're really excited about it. It releases theatrically on November the 7th. Then a few weeks after that, it'll be on Amazon Prime. But it's an amazing movie. It's an even more incredible story. We're glad we just get to tell it. A lot of people want their family stories told, and we're fortunate enough to have ours be told.
Amazing. Congratulations.
Oh,
And
thank you. Thank you.
I love that that's happening because yes,
I do too. It's
more
great.
stories
It's
told like this.
No, no, no. We need more. Yeah, we need more cinema like that. I mean, like I said, it's important to tell these stories, man. History is important. Whether good things happen or bad things happen, just tell the actual story. We just want the facts. Like, just give us the facts because these things happen. You can't wish these things away. You can't put these stories in a box and put them in storage and hide them from the people. This stuff happens and this stuff matters. And so let's talk about it. Let's watch it. Let's see how it all unfolded and use this as a catalyst to do better and treat each other better.
Amazing, John. I love those. I mean, amazing, Shawn. I love
Yeah,
those words. And I love that that's happening for you and your family. And just
love it,
it's
love it.
inspiring, sir. I
Well,
really
thank
appreciate
you,
you
thank you.
giving me your time. I love what this is all about with the Black Movie Hall of Fame, with this list that again further inspires and reminds us just the stamp that black people have been doing since the dawn of time, and
Since the beginning of
especially
time,
in the film
baby.
space.
Oscar Michelle in the building since the beginning of time. So it's good. And if you get upset or if you have any problems with the list, just remember it was more than 50 people involved.
Shawn, pleasure and an honor to talk to you, sir. I hope we can talk again, man.
Let's do it, man. Just hit me up, man. This was great, man. I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Definitely. Everybody, that is the amazing Shawn Edwards, the Black Movie Hall of Fame. Go check out the full list in the description below for the 100 best black movies ever. Go check out Sarah's Oil, all the things. My man Shawn Edwards. I'm KUYA P. Nerds Rule the World.
Nerds rule the world.
Pleasure chatting with you. Love to all my nerds who rule the world.
Yeah. Nerds rule the world.
Yes, we do.
Thanks. Nerds rule the world. Thank you.
I love the nerds ruling the world, so more power to you.
Patrick, what up, man? And yes, they do. Nerds rule the world, kid.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Awesome. KUYA P, Nerds Rule the World. Hello.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Oh,
Nerds rule the world.
I got.
It's in the title of your show, like Nerds Rule the World. Like, I want more black weirdos on screen, and I don't feel like we ever get to see that very much.
Thank you so much. Nerds do rule the world.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Nerds Rule. Love
it. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Julian.
Nerds rule. Yes,
rock on. I love it. Thank you so much.
It's good to see you. I love Nerds Rule the World.
But yeah, there's a heavy nerd component, man.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you ask me, nerds rule the world. So
absolutely.
And you're right. Nerds do rule the world.
We're just the best.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
It's your boy KUYA P. Nerds Rule the World. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you.
Do. They rule the world all right.
Yes. Take care, Tony. Thank you, guys. Recording. Here we go. In a 1, 2, 3.